There is not a lot of daylight left, so we have to do this quickly. Hey everyone, so today I'm going to be bringing you a discussion video with a slightly clickbaity title. This is sort of something that I've been thinking about for quite a while, but my recent thoughts on it have been catapulted by a video, or a couple of videos really, that my very good friend Mel from Books and Wings made. And there were two books in particular that she has been talking about that brought up my thoughts on this. And that is to do with the fact that I still have a compulsion to want to read books that I know are problematic, books that I know have poor representation. So the two books that Mel spoke about that really brought up my thoughts on this were The Art of Being Normal by Lisa Williamson, and also None of the Above. I can't remember the name of the author at the minute. That is about an intersex individual, and this is about, as far as this illustration can tell me, this is about a trans woman. This book in particular has been endorsed by Amnesty International, and I've heard really positive reviews about this throughout the years, about its representation of trans issues, and there's also a testimonial from Juno Dawson on the back, although that was before Juno Dawson came out publicly about being trans. So I'm in two minds about this. I really need to do some further research on it. Despite knowing that it is potentially very problematic, I will have links to Mel's videos down below, by the way, I still want to read this. And in this video I'm kind of exploring why. Why do I still want to read this? It's a book that has been on my TBR for a really long time. It's a book that I got new from Waterstones rather than picking up for a couple quid in a charity shop. Maybe I feel like I need to get my money's worth with it. It's a book that I'd heard really good things about before. And the same thing goes for None of the Above. I don't know as much about that book as I do about this one, so I'm going to stick with this one for now. But again, I'd heard really good things about None of the Above, and then I heard something that was contradictory to that. I'm a bit of a completionist. I want to read every book that's on my shelf. I want to develop my own opinion on the book, but what authority am I on whether it's problematic or not? If it is problematic, I want to be able to engage in a discussion on it with people who don't find it problematic. So I think that's potentially one valid reason of wanting to read this. I want to be able to engage with it critically and discuss it with people, and if I do think it's problematic, potentially provide some sort of education on it, like Mel has done. But, however, why would I read a book that I have been told has poor representation of trans individuals when I could read a book that I have been told has very good representation, and a book that is by an Own Voices writer, books like If I Was Your Girl by Meredith Russo? Is it not a much more valuable use of my time to read those books and discuss those as an alternative to books like this? And also, I don't know what to do with this book if I'm not going to read it. I don't want to give it away or sell it on, because then the book could potentially end up with someone who's going to be damaged in some way by reading a problematic book. Extremely fortunate in the fact that it's highly unlikely I'm going to be triggered by anything in that book. So when I find out a book that I know is problematic, what do I do with it? And I don't want to throw it in the bin either. There's something about that, just as a book lover, that feels utterly wrong, almost blasphemous about doing that. They are just some thoughts that I have on this subject. I've not come to any sort of conclusions or anything like that, and I am coming to this discussion with a huge amount of privilege, so I apologise if I have said anything that came across offensively or was offensive. If you feel comfortable doing so, please do let me know. Do you have any similar struggles with books on your shelf that you find out may have issues with them? And what's your method of dealing with that? What do you do with the book? With my copy of None of the Above, it is an e-arc, so it's much less of a problem because it's not taking up a physical space anywhere, and I don't have to do something with the physical object. As I said, I'm not reaching any sort of conclusions with this, so feel free to share your thoughts on this down below. Anyways, I hope you're all well, and I will talk to you guys in a few